Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you how to draw an apple and hopefully it will come out looking something like this. So if you want to see that, keep on watching. Okay, so as always, I'm just going to go and choose a sprite and click on the paint icon. And now we've got a blank canvas ready to draw our apple. So for this one, I'm going to keep the outline as transparent and I think I'm going to do a green apple this time. So all I'm going to do is go slide the colour slider down to like a nice kind of shade of green. I think this will be good. I'm going to keep the brightness. Actually, maybe I'll just, yeah, we'll go for that. I'll dim the brightness just a little bit to create like a nice sort of appley kind of shade. And I'm just going to press shift, press and hold it, and click and drag, and that'll get you your perfect circle. If you didn't press shift, you'd be getting more ovals, or if you've got a steady eye, you might get a nice little circle. It doesn't matter too much, but just makes things a little bit easier. So, what we want to do from here is I'm just going to center it as well by aligning the blue cross with the little bullseye icon in the middle. And I'm just going to click on this node tool, click on the shape, and to make it look more like an apple, what we're going to do is use these handlebars to sort of create a little notch in the top and in the bottom. See, just like on here. So to do that, as we can see, if we move this handlebar around, it's sort of like, both this end moves as well as this end, and we don't want that for this. So what you're going to want to do is press the Option key, press and hold, and then move. So once you've moved one, you don't have to keep pressing and holding it. And if we just pull them up like this, you can see we're creating like a little notch in the top here. And we're just going to do that with the bottom as well. So pressing and holding the Option key on your keyboard and just pulling these down a little bit, just like that. So now to make it look even more like an apple, we're just going to take these two nodes at the side and just pull them up a little bit like that. And what we can even do is pull the handlebars in like this. So this time we're not pressing the Option key, so this one moves as well. So just something like that really. And you can just keep playing around with it until you get it exactly how you like. I think this is a little bit too long as well, so all I'm going to do is use the select tool and just squash it down a little bit like that. And yeah, you can just, like I said, keep playing around with it, do a bit of trial and error until you get it just how you like it. So I think that'll do for me for now. You can always change it a little bit more later on as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add a little stem. So I'm going to click on the circle tool. I'm going to not use an outline on this either. And we can make a brown by going all the way over to the red and then decreasing the brightness by quite a bit. So you can just kind of play around with the sliders until you get a colour you like. It's really up to you. This is fine for me. So now I'm just going to draw an oval. And again, I'm not pressing and holding the shift key when I do this because we want the stem to be kind of long anyway. So, it's nice to just get a skinny kind of oval going on. So now, to make this look a bit more like a stem, I'm just going to use the node tool again and kind of pull this to one side. And you see what I've done. So this top one, just gone down like this. I've moved the left one up, and I'm just moving the right one in, and the bottom one's pretty much staying where it is. So it's not perfect yet, but you can see how it's kind of forming a stem sort of shape. So now I think if we press the Option key, so just one of the handlebars moves a little bit, And we'll do that again with this one. See, this is where a bit more trial and error comes in. So what I've done here now is I've just deleted this node by double clicking on it. We might add it in again later, but we'll just see how we get on for now. Yeah, I think I'm going to add that node back in. So I just did that by clicking on the edge of the shape. So I'll do that again. Literally just click like that using the node tool, and another one should pop up right away. So yeah, I'm just kind of adjusting. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this bit too well, but I guess you can somewhat see what I'm doing. But it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's an Apple anyway. Stems aren't meant to be perfect or anything, so don't stress about it too much. Because I know when I made graphics and games and stuff, I used to really stress about making sure everything was perfect. Which like obviously it's good to try and make everything nice and neat, but it's not that deep. So I think that's about good for me. Yeah, you can sort of see how it's kind of thinner at the bottom, thicker at the top. It looks like a stem, so I'll just leave that there. I might actually make it just a little bit bigger though. So I've just gone on the select tool and I'm just clicking and dragging the corner just to change the size a little bit. I'll pull this down a touch as well and make that little dent there a bit more exaggerated. Okay, I think I quite like the shape of that. So really you could leave it here, but I think we can add just a little bit more detail onto this by adding a bit of shading and a little bit of shine. So I'm going to start by adding the shine, and what I'm going to do is use the select tool to click on the body of the apple that we've just drawn, and then if I go copy and paste, you can see we get another one right here. So now I'm going to change the fill color by just decreasing the saturation a decent amount, so you can clearly see that it's a lot lighter than the body, right? And then I'm going to click and drag the corner node to make this just a bit smaller than the actual apple that we've got here. Okay, so now I'm going to actually copy and paste the main apple again. So we've got another apple body. And I'm not going to change the fill this time. I want it to be the same colour as the main apple. And if I just decrease the size of that to make it even smaller than the sort of lighter apple that we put in the middle, if that makes sense. And then can you see how we're getting kind of like a reflection looking thing on our apple? And you can see how it sort of perfectly matches the curve of the first apple shape we drew, because we've just duplicated it rather than trying to draw like a whole new oval. Personally, I just find that easier. So yeah, while I was talking, I've just reshaped the top apple that we've created. Sorry, I know there's a lot of layers in this, but I think you can kind of see what I mean. And all I've done is made sure that, see here, the bottom of the lighter layers kind of peeking through. We don't really want that. We just want the side of it to come out and then the rest of it to be hidden. So something like this. So again, you could leave it here as well. If you want, you can go that one step further and add even more shading. So again, copy and paste the main apple body, and then we can decrease the brightness, so it's kind of a darker green. And if we go backwards, just using this icon here, or in fact, a quicker way to do that is to go back, and that moves the layer right to the back of everything, just saves you having to click loads of times. And what you can do is just position that so you've kind of got the shadow peeking out the other side of the apple, right? And if you just use the node tool to make sure it's just on this side that it's peeking through, see how like we've got some dark green showing here. You can just sort of get rid of that by moving. Okay, yeah, I think the best way is to just move this handlebar down. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So again, I'll just do a few more adjustments just to make it as nice as I can. But you know, again, it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be too perfect. And there we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna make the fill a little bit lighter. Oh no, that's a saturation. Yeah, just upping the brightness a little bit more. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna not do any more just in case this gets a little bit too long. On this apple that I drew at the start, as you can see, I've done like a little bit of shadow on the stem as well. And I just did sort of the same technique as I did with the main apple, so duplicating it, and then making it a little bit darker in colour and just positioning it behind, and then moving the nodes around a little bit just so they both fit together really nicely. So all I'm going to do now is click and drag, group everything together, make sure everything's nice and centered, like so. And there we go, there's your apple. So sorry that was a little bit longer than I would have hoped. And I know I feel like I could have explained the whole sort of shading and like the shine thing a little bit better, because I know there's a lot of layers going on here, as you can see. But I hope you could at least see what I was doing, and I hope you found this tutorial somewhat helpful. So see you in the next one.